everyone, it is Evan here from the Trade Risk on Wednesday, June 26th. We are intraday right now, and this is our weekly trade ideas video where we bring you some of the names from our watch list, stocks that are holding up well, showing some good relative strength, and ideally are not yet too extended in their moves. As always, these videos are powered by our partners over at Investors Business Daily, curating ideas based on their stock lists. You can get access to their stock lists with a link in the description of this video. Now, as I mentioned in yesterday's market recap video, this will be the last video I produce for the next couple of weeks. Going on vacation, so I'll be out of the normal publishing process for the next couple of weeks. So I'll be back that second week of July. So until then, let's take a look at some setups that are setting up right now. There's only 4 names in today's video, 2 from IBD's list, 2 from our watch list. The first here is FNKO. This comes from IBD's list, and you can see this is a recent breakout candidate here. We had a lot of names that look like this in this week's video. We had the breakout last week, this high volume move, 9% above some pretty clear resistance that had been in place since late March, early April, around $22. It had a nice push up. It's checking back now. You can see volume has increased. MACD is at new highs here, and we're basically waiting now to see if this breakout is going to hold. Perhaps we get back down and retest the actual 22 area in the coming days, and we'll see if buyers step up there, or if this can hold a higher low and set up some type of continuation pattern. I think that would be interesting. That would be the more sort of point of strength at this point. So FNKO, I think it's an interesting one to watch here, see how this sets up, and whether or not they can support this recent breakout. Now, next up is BL. Similar setup, a little more sloppy, but it had this breakout here going back all the way to March. Cluster of highs, volume increase, MACD pushing up here, and you can see it had that surge up. Got a little bit of progress over $55, and now it's starting to pull back. In fact, it filled this gap here, the breakout gap back from the 20th. So once again, we're in the same position as where we're pulling back to the breakout level, to the scene of the crime, and we're looking to see if buyers are actually going to step up here, support the breakout, support the retest, and that's something that we can pay attention to over the next coming days and weeks. If it fails, just like FNKO, if it fails to hold the breakout level, then it would be an avoid, not a no touch, so to speak, here, at least from my eyes, but we're looking to see how that shakes out over the coming days for BL. So that was from IBD's list. The next 2 now come from my watch list. The first one here is Under Armour UAA. This one we have to zoom out a little bit further to take a look at the breakout that has been underway here since the past 2 weeks. If we look all the way back around this call it $24, 24 and change, this goes all the way back to 2017, but we've been in the top end of this range here. We've been underneath this level for the past 2 years, and it all started with a gap down of about 25% back in 2017, and that's really what kind of dropped us below that level, and it's been basing out, and it's been moving sideways since that area, looking like it's been under some accumulation recently as it started to break above $24 into that 2017 gap. You can see it had that nice move to the upside, and now it's starting to pull back. So once again, just like the other 2 setups, we're looking for a potential retest of $24 to see if buyers step back up there, or some type of higher low here to get put in, and then for some type of trend continuation to the upside. Either way, I think UAA is an interesting kind of pullback candidate right now, especially if you like the lower risk kind of pullback entries. This one is an interesting one to pay attention to. Last but not least is CRON. This is Kronos, been on our watch list. We've traded this a couple of times, and it has resulted in some losses both times we've traded this, unfortunately, as this has continued to slide down, but I think the setup is still there and interesting. The timing has just been difficult in this pullback, but this is a weekly picture of Kronos. You can see it's been in a strong uptrend since its IPO, and recently it's been in this very orderly slide here for most of this year, and it's really just trying to stabilize based on the 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks now moving sideways here since the beginning of May, it looks like it's trying to stabilize under and around this $15 area. If we go back to that daily chart, you can see we have had some positive momentum divergence over this time. In other words, price has continued to grind lower. MACD has made higher highs while price has made lower lows. And when I said, I think I misspoke saying higher highs, but the MACD has been making higher lows, price has been making lower lows, and that divergence there shows pretty clear. It's moving sideways now. It's getting real tight here. It's trying to hold this gap up from the 5th of June. So if it can hold this gap up here and this tight resolve happens to the upside, I think that'd be an interesting setup there. So CRON, something to pay attention to, and that space in general. A few of these names all have a similar look. I think CRON here, CRON, is probably one of my favorites. So that is it. 4 names for today's this week's trade ideas video. Remember, we'll be gone for the next couple of weeks, so enjoy the holiday. I will see you on the other side, and thanks as always for tuning in and watching. We'll see you in the next video update.